Will S. Green was a major part of creating the opportunity for irrigation in the Sacramento Valley, and he spent decades trying to promote and create an irrigation system. He had far-reaching vision, and this award is something that can be presented to people who are looking at the big picture.
Don is kind of our modern day Will S. Green, so this is so appropriate, and I'm so excited for him to be receiving this award.
Don's fingerprints are all over this valley in a great way.
But everything he's done, I think he's had this attitude of how does this benefit the region? You know, how does it benefit the valley? How does it benefit the environment? So he's always looking after others, and I think the valley, and I think that pretty much represents the Will S. Green Award.
He has done more for NorCal, not just Glenn-Colusa. I mean, he started there, but he's done so much for the North State. You know, what he's done in the past, what he's presently doing, and everything he's doing today for the future. He speaks for all of Northern California.
I think he's incredibly worthy. I'd say this is a long time coming. He probably could have won this award 20 years ago, maybe even before that, but he's incredibly worthy of this. It's been well earned.
The impact that Don has had in Northern California, you start to put your Mount Rushmore of water leaders together, and Don's going to be at the top of everybody's list.
If there's a Mount Rushmore for Sacramento Valley water managers, it is meaningless without Don Bransford's bust prominently displayed.
He also knows when to speak and when to listen. And I think that's maybe the one thing about when he's quiet is he's listening, and his contributions are huge.
I think of Don as kind of the E.F. Hutton of California water and California agriculture. I don't know if you remember the old tagline, but when Don Bransford talks, people listen.
People always want to know what he's thinking. Even though he may not be saying anything, it's like, well, what's Don's thinking? Because I think his opinion, what he thinks about things matters a lot.
If I was to describe Don, it'd be a strong advocate for today's challenges with environmental and economical water needs.
Very thoughtful, very intelligent, and before he answers a question, he knows he kind of one of the people who knows the answers.
I think he's a very wise, he's communicates well with people, and he's a bit reserved initially, but boy, if you say something that it's of interest for Don, he really gets engaged.
His service on the Department of Food and Ag Board, his work with the Rice Commission, his work on GCID's board, the largest irrigation district. I mean, he has been in the middle of probably the most important issues affecting California water.
Glenn-Colusa Irrigation District was a real transition, and our diversions were at great risk, and an entire new board was settled. And Don, along with four other colleagues, were elected to steward this district into the future.
And Don was our point guy in Washington, and he spent more time in Washington and Sacramento than anybody. I think he spent more time there than he did at Colusa. I think they're ready to change his zip code because he was there so often. And we just kind of set the template for how things would happen later for everybody down the line. For everybody else who were getting their fish greens put in the river. It was kind of how we started. It started with Glenn-Colusa.
I'm not sure if Don knows the lasting impact he's had on myself and several others that I talked to as we kind of grew up in this water world and our careers have advanced.
Don's a mentor. He's always been a mentor for me. And just taking the time to want to get to know me and get to know others. And so just his character for me has been huge.
I probably still consider Don much more of a mentor and a friend than a client though. So I feel incredibly fortunate. He's always been quick to share stories about our respective families and kids and grandkids, and we have a love-hate relationship with the ups and downs of the Sacramento Kings.
We get on a call and there's 8 or 10 people that 5 years ago worked at GCID, and it's, for me, very proud, and Don should be very proud
absolutely.
That all those folks worked at GCID at one time, and now they're managers or engineers or consultants for different companies all across Northern California. And at one time, we were all under the same roof at GCID, and we all took something from Don, the board, and that was part of our career, and I think that everybody's really proud of that.
Good person, done so much. And it's what he's done today, I mean, it affects the future. I mean, that's what's so cool. It's not, I mean, like you say, my generation, you know, we're getting old. The next generation has a lot to thank for him. We have our water right. We still have the right to farm. And a lot of that's based on what Don's done.
I don't think he wants this recognition, actually. I don't think he wants this award because it's just not him, but he obviously deserves it 100%. But he's just a very humble man, and I think just wants to make sure, you know, he's doing right by himself, by his family.
You know, I think his legacy is that he's got big shoes to fill, but again, he brings people along, so I think he's going to be able to make sure that other folks will be able to step in and carry on what he's done.
I think Don Bransford's legacy for California Water will be its environmental footprint, and that how each drop of water isn't just for farming, just for agriculture. It's for a lot of the fowl, a lot of the fur, and fish as well.
Part of that legacy is one day I would not be surprised if there is a very prestigious award that's named the Donald Bransford Award.
You're talking like he's gone already.
You say legacy, I mean, he's had a major impact.
I think he still has a lot more to give. So this certainly isn't the end for him, but I think he's certainly deserving of this award.
He might be like the Michael Corleone of California Water. Every time he wants to step out, they keep pulling him back in.
So Don, I don't want you to mistake this as like a retirement party or something, because I expect you to continue working with us, advancing all the great issues we have here in the Valley.
Honoring the legacy of Don Bransford and what he's meant to the Sacramento Valley is a precious moment for everyone that's ever been touched by Don.
Being, you know, I'm fifth generation, water's our key, and Don's helped keep that. And our future, you know, the next generation of kids have a lot to thank for Don, because he helped keep that water right.